The Dominican archives have a collection of prospectuses from which we gain insight into the type of education that the nuns provided. The first Immaculata boarding school prospectus from March 1835 shows that the nuns wanted to give their pupils the broadest education possible, which would allow them to develop skills and have the knowledge necessary to take their place in society. So not just teaching them how to become young ladies. The prospectus shows us that pupils were taught grammar, history, geography, astronomy, the use of the globes, French and Italian, and needlework. The fee was £30 per annum. Music, singing, drawing and dancing were also offered at an extra fee. It is interesting to note that as the pupils were boarders, they were given a list of items they were required to bring. These included sheets, towels, napkins, silver fork and teaspoon. One vacation was allowed during the school year. The Intermediate Education Act of 1878 introduced public exams into Ireland, but it was many years before the Cabra pupils took part in these external exams. However, pupils did sit in-house exams and prize-giving and award ceremonies in subjects and skills took place. Science and art classes were added to the curriculum in 1889. From then on, the nuns presented their pupils for examinations provided by Oxford, Cambridge and the Royal Academy of Music in London. Pupils were prepared for the first time for the matriculation of the Royal University of Ireland in 1899. The Dominican nuns were at the forefront in promoting third-level education for women. During the 1920s, more subjects were added to the curriculum for the young ladies attending the Immaculata boarding school. The prospectus states the more serious subjects, such as mathematics, natural philosophy and Latin, were to get special prominence in the curriculum. However, chief stress would be given to the study of English literature. University classes were also arranged for pupils who had completed the general school course. Other new subjects offered at the turn of the century were German, domestic science and cookery, bookkeeping, and dance and drills. By the 1950s, the school was following the programme of the Department of Education. Pupils were prepared for intermediate and leaving certificate examinations, as well as for matriculation for the National University of Ireland. A wide range of subjects was offered at this time. Today, this long-established school, now known as St. Dominic's College, continues to provide the best education possible for students. The range of subjects continues to adapt and expand to meet the needs of the times. It is important to remember that the grounds have been home to several schools run by the Dominican sisters down through the years. In addition to the secondary school, there was Blessed Imelda's Junior School, St. Mary's School for Deaf Girls, boarding and day, the Marian Primary School, St. Dominic's Preparatory School for boys, St. Catherine's National School, and Casa Caterina Special School. This place was, and continues to be, a major centre of learning for young people.
From humble beginnings in 1819. Generous gifts, school fees, donations, dowries, and prudent management of resources allowed the nuns to enhance and develop the buildings and the grounds for the benefit of all who lived and worked here. One of the beautiful rooms was St. Dominic's Hall, and many of the gifts received by the community were housed here. This impressive room was used for a variety of functions. Here we see St. Dominic's Hall set out for a special event. Another important room was the library. Below the library was the study hall. A lot of time was spent by the pupils in this room, supervised by the nuns or by the senior pupils. As the number of pupils increased, the library upstairs was turned into a classroom, and the study hall was extended to accommodate the library and a larger area for study. The beautiful St. Patrick's Hall, still very much in use, provided a wonderful venue for operettas, musicals, recitals, concerts, plays and other special occasions, including the visit of Pope John Paul II in 1979. The pupils continue to enjoy this lovely setting today. The original classrooms were sufficient, simply furnished and of their time, in contrast to the brighter modern classrooms of today. Being a boarding school, there were several dormitories. And there was an infirmary for the pupils. The pupils gathered together for all meals in one of the dining halls. As early as the 1880s, the Dominican sisters considered the study of science as a necessary part of the education of girls. It was thereafter included on the curriculum, and science labs were provided for that purpose. Music, art, drama and sport have always featured as an important part of Dominican education. From very early days, music, in all its branches, was highly valued. Piano, violin, viola, cello and harp were taught by competent professors. Practice areas and musical instruments, particularly pianos, were provided in many areas. Focus was on the cultivation of a broad musical taste. Specialist rooms were also provided for the study of art. Pupils developed numerous artistic skills and appreciation of art in all its forms. And of course, all pupils of music and art were encouraged to study the great masters. Plenty of time was given to the pupils for leisure activities and recreation. Popular games included lawn tennis, croquet, gymnastics and hockey. Being in the countryside at the time, the school had ample space for outdoor activities and even had its own pavilion.
Wearing a uniform has always been a part of school life in Cabra. In the early days, the girls wore long, dark, tiered dresses which were similar but not identical. For special occasions, uniforms were enhanced with lace or velvet trimmings or even a white smock over the dresses. These helped to improve the style of the outfits. From this picture taken in 1921, it is clear that the girls also had a summer uniform, complete with tie and Dominican crest badge. When a former pupil, Dr. Mary Lucy, visited the school to speak about her time as a boarder, she said, "As boarding students, we had to bring with us quite a large amount of clothing. 3 of everything, 3 vests, 3 knickers, that is what we really called them, 3 night dresses and 3 pairs of stockings to match each set of uniform. We had 2 distinctly different outfits, a navy pinafore dress with the grey jumper trimmed in blue at the collar for weekdays, and a royal blue pinafore dress with a deep cream jumper trimmed in blue for Sundays and holy days. We had indoor shoes and outdoor shoes, and woe betide any girl who forgot to change her shoes. This change was to lessen the work of those who cleaned the floors." While uniform rules remained strict, the style did change with the times. In the 1960s, the uniform was a royal blue pinafore with a cardigan and white shirt. A blazer, beret and tie could also be worn. In the early 1970s, the uniform was changed to a simple blue skirt and V-neck jumper. In the early 1990s, the uniform changed again, now using the colours navy and crushed strawberry. Senior students wear a navy jumper and a crushed strawberry coloured skirt, while the junior students wear the same uniform with the colours reversed. The option of trousers was introduced later.